this is rather puzzling, and the typical thing, which I did in 1952, is for the youngest child who can memorize things to start asking some questions. I believe that youngest child is sitting here to my left but one. Do you have some questions, Alexandra? Maybe 4?
Why do we eat unleavened bread?
Which would be this.
Okay. Ask it, yes.
Why do we read the time?
Very good.
Okay.
That's 2.
Why do we dip in salt water?
Good.
3.
And the one we all
Why
forgot.
do we eat bitter herbs?
Very good. Nicely
Very
done.
good.
Now you get some very succinct answers.
Okay. And here on page 4, we are really zipping along. Chicken done, by the way? The schedule is perfect. So here we are on page 4. Everybody got to page 4 who wants to read? Slaves we were to Pharaoh in Mitzrayim. Victoria, didn't you do an entire school musical about this?
Yes.
But the Lord brought us out of there with a strong hand and an outstretched arm. And if he had not brought our fathers out from Mitzrayim, then... Asher, try not to talk. Asher, just try not to talk. If the forefathers had not brought our fathers out from Mitzrayim, then we and our children and our children's children would still be slaves to Pharaoh in Mitzrayim, which means Egypt. If we were all wise, even if we were all clever, even if we were all old, even if we were all learned in the Torah, in the Bible, it would still be our duty to tell this story.
Should we sing that?
I don't see a song yet. There's actually a tune for these questions.
Miko Hallelujah, Shebecho Hallelujah, Anu Ochlim Hametu Matzah, Hametu Matzah, Halayla Hazeh Kulo Matzah, Halayla Hazeh Kulo Matzah.
One person.
We're enough? Okay. Try to imagine that's pitched, that was sung in adult register, but actually you spend 6 months learning to sing that in a boy's soprano, and then you know you're going to forget either the words or the music. I was lucky. I only forgot the words, and my uncles fed them to me.
So you sang La La La?
Well, I just sort of, I looked very, very anxious, and they figured out what the problem was. So the next page is a very famous one about 4 kinds of children, which I believe we have here. Yes. No, we have 4 children, so maybe there are 4 kinds of. Actually, no. We covered 3 of the 4 kinds. The wise child asks.
That's Ninette, yes.
That would be, the wise child asks, what are the precepts, laws, and observances which the Lord our God commanded us? That might have been the wise child. To that child, we explain very carefully what's going on here. But we don't have time. It does say, after the Seder, we do not turn on the TV. Yes.
Asher,
I knew they were
Asher,
forward-looking
please
when they wrote the Bible, but I didn't know they were that
It's really
forward-looking.
important. You have to stay in your seat. Come on, Asher. This will be over soon.
Ash, would you like some of this? Okay, would you pass this to Asher,
We
please?
don't have a wicked child, thank goodness.
Yeah,
They're all
where's
on
my
their-
father
they're
when
all
we
on
need
their
him?
arms. The wicked child says, what is this for you?
No, I like to play pirates.
You play the wicked child?
I like to.
She plays yes, she
She
likes to
plays
play pirates, yes.
Okay, but this is sort of a selfish wicked child who says, what does this mean to you? And the question is, this is for me because my ancestors used to be slaves in Egypt. If you'd been there, you might have stayed there. So it's not for you. The simple child asks, what is going on here? And to that child we say, we were slaves a long time ago and now we are free. That's the person of open simplicity. And The child who has no need to know, who was down there at the far end of the table, in the Maxwell House Coffee translation, it's the child who wits not to ask.
I do not have a
Yeah.
question.
The one who has no need to know, you must begin yourself, year after year, to get them to want to understand this. And that's why you do it every year.
Oh, I did not get a question.
You got 4 questions right at the beginning.
Oh, she gave 4 questions.
She gave 4
I
questions.
got a question. You know, I did just before.
So we'll be getting to a song that Grandma is very fond of in about a page and a half here. But we do start here on page 6. We can start to answer, and I will be brief. Our history moves from slavery to freedom, from degradation to dignity, from evil to the rule of good. We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and we were freed with a mighty hand. Had we not been freed from Egypt, then we, our children, and our children's children would still be enslaved. Therefore, even if we were all wise, it would still be our obligation to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. And that is... Didn't I Xerox that? No. There's just a lot of footnotes here which we will skip. Yes.
There will be a quiz after dessert.
Okay. But the basic story is that, well, Victoria, you can tell this almost as well as I can.
Yes.
That it started with a famine in Israel, in Palestine. The Jews went down to Egypt where there was food. The politics changed, and they became slaves for roughly 400 years. And a great leader rose up named Moses, who led them out of Egypt and back to Israel, where they landed about 3,000 years ago, and where they've more or less been one way or another for most of the time since then. So on page 8 is the beginning of the song that says, "We are very grateful for what happened an awfully long time ago." The English is very strangely typeset, and it's much more fun in Hebrew. So you want to start?
That's
Take
on
a key on
that
page.
The next page.
What page is
9.
it?
8.
Isn't it, Diana?
That's the page he said, but I don't see any
Page
Hebrew on
9,
page
at
8.
the right.
Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim dayenu, 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 dayenu. Ilu natan natan lanu et hashabbat, natan lanu et hashabbat dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Ilu natan natan lanu et haTorah, natan lanu et haTorah dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Hey!
Okay, page 10.
Hey, girls.
Good job.
There are 3, there's another bunch of symbolic items here that get a page.
Okay, here it is.
Rabban Gamliel, of whom I have no personal acquaintance, used to say, anyone who's not explained these 3 items on Passover, please don't stop. Anybody who has not said these words yet on Passover hasn't done his duty. These words are Pesach, matzah, moror, which is not for kids. You're welcome to try it, but you won't like it. Pesach is a symbol of the offering of the animal that used to be used in the services after the Jews were freed from Egypt to go back to Israel. It is called Pesach because that's the word for passing over. And there's a story that a disease passed over the sons of the Jews and afflicted the sons of the Egyptians. Matzah Why do we eat this strange stuff? It makes wonderful crumbs. Asher, could you please not talk? We eat this because there wasn't time to bake the bread when the Jews left Egypt. And there's a Bible quote here. Moror, the horseradish? Oh, here we go. This, you're welcome to try and taste, but it's very bitter. Is because it was a very bitter time to be a slave, as it is said. So that's the explanation of that stuff. And today as well, wherever slavery is present, it is bitter, and the Jews taste its bitterness.
Good.
In every generation, each person should remember that a long time ago we went out from Egypt. We rejoice at the wonder of this deliverance, and it is our duty to honor this memory once a year on this note. With this second cup of wine, I'm on page 12, or grape juice. Who wants another cup of something?
You know, do you need more grape juice? Oh, you got it. Okay.
We remember this promise of liberation. Remember with gratitude, having come from slavery to freedom, and now looking forward to freedom for you, each children in your turn. The same prayer, second time, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen, who creates the grape and the wine. One more custom and then dinner. Did you say the chicken's about done?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Preserving a bond from probably 2,000 years ago. Take a piece of matzah and put this sweet stuff on it. It's called charoseth, made from honey and apples and walnuts. And you can also put some of the horseradish on it if you're a grown-up. And this was done 2,500 years ago. It's a combination of the matzah of freedom, the moror of slavery, and in hard work is the promise of redemption.
And it's called the Hillel sandwich.
Yes, because Rabbi Hillel probably wrote down the recipe. Okay.
What is that?
We'd love that stuff. Horseradish. And now, in my copy, it says
This is the apples. You guys said you wanted to try this. This is the apples and the walnuts.
I never had my.
How do we do this in a way that makes delicious?
Is this your salt?
Actually, you put it in one. I mean, Marion, put it in one, and then you break it. You break it in half. Break that in half, and make a sandwich out of it. Okay, just put it on your plate then. Sure.
Asher, see what's on your plate? Have you tasted that yet?
It's so good.
It's apples and honey and nuts. It's right up your alley. You want to try it?
Right.
Does he speak French? It's up his alley.
No, that's from the Aramaic. It's the up your alley, which has been.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Don't have to eat it.
Okay, well, that was a rather fast Seder. I'd like credit for keeping the kids quiet, but we covered all the main points.